Brought to you by...
Well, here we are again, talking about the second entry into the most recent blockbuster horror franchise that has been beaten to death by a greedy studio system that can't take a fucking hint and learn when to quit. And then we all go out and buy up tickets, shelling out money for popcorn and soda, and park our asses in the cinema to consume it like starving, ravenous dogs. So, I guess we're all to blame. Hello friends, and welcome back to ETF. I want to start off by saying I don't hate this franchise. It can be quite fun, even some of its worst entries aren't terrible. Directed by James Wan, The Conjuring 2 is a compelling follow-up to 2013's The Conjuring. The film successfully balances intense scares with emotional depth, showcasing Wan's expertise in the horror genre, while expanding on the lives of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. Based on the infamous Edenfield poltergeist case, the movie manages to craft a haunting narrative while delving deeper into the humanity of its central characters. Set in 1977, the film shifts focus to the Hodgson family in Edenfield, England. After Peggy Hodgson and her children begin experiencing supernatural disturbances in their council house, the church calls upon Ed and Lorraine Warren to investigate. While dealing with the malevolent spirit plaguing the Hodgsons, Lorraine wrestles with visions of a sinister nun and a premonition of Ed's death, adding a personal layer of urgency to their mission. As always, James Wan's direction elevates the material, creating a relentless sense of dread and suspense. He employs clever camera work, introducing long takes and dynamic angles to immerse viewers in the Hodgson house's claustrophobic atmosphere. Wan's mastery of pacing ensures that each scare feels earned, from the eerie introduction of the Crooked Man to the terrifying encounters with the demon nun, later revealed as Valak. The film maintains a high level of tension throughout. The sound design is a standout element, with creaking floors, sudden whispers, and chilling growls contributing to the eerie atmosphere. Joe Basara's score enhances the tension of its discordant melodies and haunting motifs. Visually, the film's color palette reflects the bleakness of the Hodgson situation. The production design recreates the 1970s setting with meticulous detail, immersing viewers in the period and enhancing the realism of the story. This sequel explores themes of family, faith, and sacrifice. At its core, the film emphasizes the power of love and belief as weapons against malevolence. The Warrens' unwavering commitment to their mission, despite their fears and the personal toll, highlights their compassion and devotion to helping others. The character development is particularly strong. Lorraine Warren is shown to be more vulnerable in this installment, haunted by her visions of the demon nun and her fears of Ed's safety. Meanwhile, Ed becomes a symbol of unwavering faith and resilience. His moments with the Hodgson children, particularly his rendition of Can't Help Falling in Love, showcases his warmth and ability to connect with those in need. The Hodgson family, especially young Janet, is also fleshed out with a sympathetic performance. Janet's struggle with possession and isolation make her a compelling victim, while Peggy portrays a mother doing her best to protect her children in dire circumstances. This one does more than expand the story of Ed and Lorraine Warren. It deepens the mythology of the Conjuring universe, and introduces elements that broaden the narrative scope. The film strikes a balance between staying true to the formula that made the first film so successful, and venturing into new uncharted territory with new characters, locations, and lore. One of the more iconic elements of The Conjuring 2 is the demon Valak, whose manifestation as a sinister nun became a cultural phenomenon. Valak not only adds to the personal threat to the Warrens, but also sets a stage for a broader universe. The character's popularity led to a spin-off film, The Nun, which explores the demon's origins in 1950s Romania. I'll probably get to that film eventually. This interconnected storytelling strengthens the Conjuring universe, making each film feel part of a larger, cohesive mythology. Another noteworthy addition is the Crooked Man, a spectral figure derived from a children's rhyme. While his role in the narrative is limited, his surreal, nightmarish design hints at a possibility for further exploration. Though plans for a Crooked Man spin-off were eventually shelved, his presence exemplifies the franchise's potential to introduce characters and concepts with standalone appeal. By moving the setting from rural America to suburban England, the film broadens its geographical scope. The inclusion of the Edenfield poltergeist case, one of the most famous paranormal investigations in history, grounds the film in a real-world lore, while diversifying the types of hauntings the Warrens encounter. The shift underscores the Warrens' global reputation as paranormal investigators, and opens the door for further stories in varied locations. While the first film is centered on the Perron family's plight, The Conjuring 2 places greater emphasis on the Warrens themselves. Lorraine's terrifying visions of Valak and her premonitions of Ed's death create an emotional turmoil that makes the stakes feel deeply personal. This focus on their inner lives elevates them from mere investigators to fully realized characters with vulnerabilities and fears. The film delves into Lorraine's struggle with her psychic abilities and her faith, presenting her as a more complex figure. Her journey underscores the thin line between her beliefs in a higher power and the dread of the unknown forces they face. Ed's role as a protector and his heartfelt connection to the Hodgson family showcase his compassion. His musical moment with the children exemplifies his ability to bring light to the darkest of situations. This film innovates by intertwining two narratives, the Hodgson's haunting and the Warrens' battle with Valak. This dual structure adds depth to the story, and the Warrens' personal challenges mirror the struggles of the Hodgson family. It also allows the film to explore themes of familial love and perseverance in the face of overwhelming adversity. Wan's direction pushes the boundaries of what a haunted house film can achieve. The inclusion of large-scale set pieces, such as the transformation of the Hodgson house into a claustrophobic nightmare, and the chilling introduction of Valak into the Warrens' home library, showcases Wan's ability to blend intimate horror with grand spectacle. This escalation in scope and intensity raises the bar for future entries into the series. The Conjuring universe thrives on interconnected stories, and The Conjuring 2 lays groundwork for this by introducing key elements like Valak and expanding the Warrens' role as central figures in a world rife with supernatural occurrences. Subsequent films such as Annabelle Comes Home and The Nun build on the lore established in this sequel. By exploring themes of faith, love, and sacrifice, The Conjuring 2 elevates the horror genre and does set precedent for future entries to delve deeper into emotional territory. This approach ensures that the franchise can remain more than just a series of scare-driven stories, appealing to audiences seeking both thrills and substance. The film's ability to introduce characters and concepts that resonate beyond the immediate narrative demonstrate the franchise's potential for growth. While not all of the spin-offs have been as well received as the mainline entries, the seeds planted in The Conjuring 2 continue to influence the direction of the universe. While The Conjuring 2 is a pretty strong sequel, all things considered, we all know I have seen some shitty ones, and you have too. Don't fucking lie about it. It occasionally succumbs to familiar horror tropes. The inclusion of the Crooked Man, while visually striking, feels slightly disconnected from the main narrative. Some critics have argued that the film's nearly 2.5-hour runtime could have been trimmed to tighten the pacing. I don't entirely disagree, but I personally didn't find the length to be unbearable. I think this one does solidify its place as one of the better horror sequels in recent memory, providing the genre can deliver emotional depth alongside scares. It also paved the way for spin-offs like The Nun, expanding the Conjuring universe, although those films have received some very mixed reviews compared to Wan's tightly directed entries. Well, friends, that's gonna be all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're fans of The Conjuring and you haven't watched the sequels, I think this one is worth a watch. I will link the physical release down below if you want to add it to your collection. A serious question for my viewers: do you actually enjoy it when I cover these larger, well-known, often talked about films? I have held off on so many of these types of things because they've just been discussed by everyone on YouTube, so I just haven't had anything new to add to the conversation. I would honestly love to hear what you guys think, or what you guys would like to see me cover on this channel. I always appreciate when you guys comment with suggestions, and I do take them into consideration for future videos. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe for more content, and if you would like to support this channel, come find us on Patreon. Until next time, stay safe, beware demonic nuns, and as always, thanks for watching.